Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lois and welcome back to Age of Engineering. In the last episode, we were working here at the base making this guy, the the improved blast furnace, which makes steel so much faster. So fast that I even had to make another coke oven, which I've automated with some item conduits and fluid conduits, get rid of the creosote oil. And we're just doing normal coal into coal coke rather than coal blocks, just because it's faster, and so that we can get a little bit more steady steel production. Because we need a lot of steel. What we were working towards, and what we're working towards currently, is biodiesel and the diesel generator from Immersive Engineering, which once we have it up and running and power and everything like that, it's going to generate so much power. Getting there is going to be a little bit more challenging. So that's what we're going to work on today. I did some math, and I looked at basically all of the different stuff that we're going to need to make. And not including one machine that is relatively simple to make. We're going to need 156 steel, which we almost have, 110 iron, 60 copper-ish, a little bit of redstone, some pistons, solarium, electrum, and some Inori crystals, plus wood and other things. So a lot of resources is going to go into this build. So we might as well get started. Hopefully by the time we're ready for it, this will have finished the steel, and we can go from there. So the first thing that I want to make is actually not on my list of all my supplies. So we're going to have to steal some stuff, but it shouldn't be too bad to make. The first thing that I want to make is just it's considered heavy machinery, but it's heavy machinery that is going to make my life easier. But before we can really do that, we do need soul sand. So let's head back to the old base and see what kind of soul sand we have. By the way, I also went ahead and, I'm growing slime blocks here for the slimy generator. I decided to start doing that instead of grabbing the rest of the power. We might lose a million RF out of the Immersive Engineering capacitor, but we'll find out if it keeps its buffer or not. But I've started growing this, and I've started growing ender pearls with ender lilies. And this was just something in the meantime, might as well. It's not that big of a deal. I wonder if I can right click those. They take forever to grow, by the way, so it's not the best of ways to get ender pearls, but it's a halfway decent one. So we are going to head back into the overworld, and we might end up at the nether, and that chunk has not liked to be loaded. Oh, that's why. It's this chunk right here, and it's because of chunk loading. We have some zombies, and nothing too major to deal with. But yeah, so I have been working between episodes just a little bit, trying to get things ready to start making a lot more power. And probably the hardest part of all of that was the lava wood. So the smeltery system is a little bit disorganized at the time, but at this time rather. But other than that, everything's pretty good. So, wow, those are perfect lapis pants. That's kind of rare. Can we do anything with those? Nope. I was hoping we could like repurpose them or something. That'd be cool, but doesn't look like it. So yeah, we need soul sand. Do we have much? We have a little bit. That should be enough. So we'll take that with us, and that should be pretty much it. We can take this pyrite ore, why not? And I'm gonna get the bed. I did have to go get a bunch of clay as well, and lava wood was the only other thing that was kind of a pain, but all in all, not too bad. So I don't want the dense stuff. And is there anything else that I want to grab at this point? I think we're good. Alright, so just double check, make sure there's nothing in particular. Okay, so we're going to head back now to the mining dimension and start working on getting these machines up and running. Let's go ahead and grab a couple more things, actually. So from here, what I want Do we really? Oh yeah, we have plenty of it. All right, we want some industrial hemp and potatoes, I do believe. And I guess let's go ahead and grab our matic, which is right there. And we should be good to go. So that should be good for now. Let's head back and we can start making the metal press. So what the metal press is going to allow us to do is to make Immersive Engineering metal plates. This is going to be better over the IC2 metal plates, mostly just because, well, it's going to require RF instead of EU, and I like that. And for now, we're just going to set everything up right around here. And then I will move it over there once we have some biodiesel to start generating power. And then we can kind of make a self-sustaining system and go from there, powering up stuff. But for now, we're just going to put everything like right in here until we have enough resources, namely power lines, to start doing things a little bit more automatically. So, I guess first thing we should do is I'm going to make a little bit of a field right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Something like this. And get some worms. Let's see, that's 4, so right here. Requires water. I don't really care about the worms. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will deal with getting this back to normal later. But for now, I just want to make some basic farms so that we can get crops that we're going to use for all this stuff. So we're going to take a bunch of industrial hemp and grow this for the seeds, and then potatoes for potatoes. Eventually we're going to have garden cloches, which are going to be super useful in growing a lot of stuff very quickly, but we're not there yet, so we got to do it the old-fashioned way, and hopefully we have enough potatoes. If not, I will just replant this. Yeah, we'll just replant it as it goes. We have these worms we could use, but I don't really want to. And that's pretty much it. So we need to make a metal press. Metal press is going to allow us to make both, make a bunch of stuff really. But kind of the ideal is it's going to allow us to make plates and wires. Wires are kind of the bigger deal with all of this. So for example, if we look at what's something, I know the generator blocks require kinetic dynamos, which require LV wire coils, which requires a ton of copper wire. This you can make from one plate, or one ingot will give you 2. So it's a little bit more efficient that way, and that's the way we're going to go. So we need to make a metal press first, and to do that, we are going to need some stuff. So the metal press requires 2 steel scaffolding, redstone engineering block, piston, conveyor belt, and heavy engineering block. The heavy engineering block is the thing that we've been kind of locked out of, and we're going to need a lot of pistons. So how much wood do I have? Plenty. Let's just get a ton of wood and a ton of cobblestone. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start setting this up so that we can do something like this, and then as we need more pistons, we just make them. So for this guy, we're going to need what? 3 pistons at least. So we'll get a bunch of redstone, and I have a good bit of iron. And we'll go ahead and get some pistons. So that's the first step on all of this. Other way around. I know how to make pistons. Alright, so with that taken care of, the heavy engineering block requires a bunch of steel, 2 steel mechanical parts, so it's going to be some copper, and some steel, 8 steel plus 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 steel. And this is actually going to be, this is actually in my calculations, this specific one, because we need an odd number of these heavy engineering blocks in total. And since they make even numbers, it's good for us. So the other thing we need is a piece of solarium, which is gold and soul sand. So let's go ahead and get this cooked up. Be quite easy. By the way, these fluid conduits are just conduit binder plus some quite clear glass, which is just smelting up glass twice. So pretty easy. And we'll go ahead and get our solarium. So with this, that's broken. We can't repair it in there, but I did bring, I had the extra tool forge that I brought over. So it's taken care of. Cool. And for right now, let's go ahead and put this stuff in here just to get it out of my inventory. I was also looking at the solar panels for later, but we'll get to that at another time. So this stuff, and there is our heavy engineering blocks. So we need one of those. We're going to need some conveyor belts, which unfortunately I've kind of run out of space in my search bar, so I have to do it a little bit slower. But conveyor belts are just leather, iron, and redstone. So there are cows around. There's plenty of animals around, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, there's plenty of cows. We just need 3 leather, not letters. And oh my gosh, stop it. Stop running from me. And these 2 cows were nice enough to compel. So now that we have the leather, we can make the conveyor belts. And conveyor belts you can use for any automation in Immersive Engineering. Most of the machines will interact with them. No problem at all. But it's not something that you necessarily need to use all that much. So yeah, don't really need to. Don't really need them most of the time. So with that taken care of, get the cloche back up. This garden cloche is pretty easy to make other than the farmer, which requires a bunch of Inori crystals. Empowered canola seeds are not bad. The advanced greenhouse is kind of bad. Not terrible, but it could be better. Basic greenhouse, we've made this before. That's easy enough. It's just a lot of materials, and then 2 iron casings. So it's a lot of materials, and I'm not quite ready to make it, but I have it up just in case we get to that point. So there's all that. We're going to need a redstone engineering block, which is pretty easy. We just need a little bit of copper. And I think that's about it. There's not much else. We need steel scaffolding. And then that is also in my list. So using this stuff. And let's see, the steel scaffolding is steel plus these steel rods. Now, part of the reason that we're doing this is steel rods are a lot easier to make in a metal press. However, we can also make them like so. We'll make 4. And I think that's pretty much the only way. Base metals, immersive engineering. Yeah, so we're gonna need to get some steel. And I didn't mean to take all of it, but that's fine. Actually, let's go ahead and throw it all back. And then we're going to need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that should be everything we need. So we're going to use one of these steel rods for something else as well. So there's some steel scaffolding. So let's get this machine set up. It is pretty easy to do. So it's just 1 and 2 with a redstone block in between. We need conveyor belts. Doesn't really matter which way, as long as they are going the same way. We need a piston facing downwards, which if you take the engineer's hammer, you can rotate it. And then a heavy engineering block on top. and then we smack, I believe, the redstone, the piston, and there we have the metal press. Now we need to set this up to power, and we could get some automation with it if we really wanted to, but honestly, you know what, let's go ahead and get some more chests. We have the wood on us, so might as well. So there is some chests. Now if we put a chest at the end like so, and then a chest like here, that will work, or it should. We do this, extract, always active, insert, and that should automatically deposit into that chest, and then we just need to run some energy conduits like so. Perfect. So this has power now, and this guy is starting to run low. Let's go ahead and get some more slime blocks. That should not be too bad. So what the metal press does is it allows you to make a bunch of different things. Metal plates allows you to make, let's see, the wires, the steel rods that are used, pretty much anything like that. And it's usually a cost-efficient thing. So for example, metal plates are 1-to-1. It's a much quicker and easier way to just use the metal press most of the time. But like the wires are a metal plate and it gives you 1 wire. Well, with the metal press you get 2 for an ingot, so it's twice as many. And since steel is kind of a pain to get for us right now, later on there's a much better way to get steel. Mechanism is probably one of the best mods to get steel with. But for right now we don't have access to that, so yeah, we have to make steel slow, and that's not fun. So we'll just kind of make slime balls into slime blocks and get as many of those as we can. 13, that is a ton of power. And I just throw the extra in there, jump over my wall, and there we go. So that will charge this up pretty easily. It's generating at 360 RF per tick, and it's 144,000. So not too bad. There's the rest of the solarium we're going to need for all of this. And I've been making more flint for this just by, whenever I process ores, I throw the cobblestone back in here and process it through gravel, and then gravel into sand. I keep the sand, and then any flint I throw into the system. So with that taken care of, we can start making presses. Let's go ahead and get the presses that we need. So there are 5. We don't need the bullet casings. I don't plan on using bullets, but the wires is probably one of the best, and we need steel plates for that. So I guess let's go ahead and get plates first. And what's going to be the best way? We're going to have to take some of these back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just grab like a piece of iron or something to get the last plate. And just grab a bunch of this stuff. And the purple slime balls are a little bit rarer since they only come from the leaves. So we'll go ahead and grab them. But I think, yeah, let's head back to the overworld and we'll make the plates. We'll get, honestly, once we get the plate press, then we don't have to worry about it. So we're just going to get a couple plates and go from there. So there we go, world's loaded. Let's just run quickly into our base and we'll get this stuff. So this is not a difficult thing to do. We just need 4 steel plates. I have an electrum plate from before that we never used. That will work in the center. It doesn't really matter what kind of plate you use. And then you can also make gears. That might be useful later, but for right now, not terribly so. So we're not going to worry about it. The rods we're probably going to do. I have an extra steel rod here, so we'll do that, and then the wires. Now eventually we might want more metal presses. If we do, they're not that bad to make, so I'm not too worried about that. But this is almost done, and we'll go ahead and One, clean up our inventory a little bit, but we'll start working on getting everything else. So the next machines that we're going to be making is the fermenter and the squeezer. Now these are a pair of machines that will make plant oil and seed oil, I think. I don't remember what the other one is. One is plant oil, I know that much. I don't know what, I think that's the squeezer, and the fermenter makes something else. I don't know. Doesn't really matter what they're called. But those are the two components that make biodiesel. So let's go ahead and, can I right click you? Hey, I can, cool. Let's go ahead and put this stuff away, and we'll start making those in a second. So that goes away. Ender pearls, I guess I'll just throw in here for right now, and the dirt, we'll throw that away. Alright, so I have the plates, electrum plate in the middle, steel plates like so, make this plate, the press mold plates, which I can just add right here. You just click it, and then we're going to take 8 plates, and that will just kind of put it on there, and it presses them pretty quickly. It will do it one at a time and automatically put it in there. Once we have 4, we can make the rod plate, which will be better. 1 steel makes 2 rods. And then the other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need another plate. And you know what? Let's just use a piece of copper. And we'll turn it into a wire, and we'll make a wire plate. So that will be pretty much it. So let's get the other 2 presses, and then we can start making everything we need. So where is, do I have engineer wire cutters? Now something I think we're going to do, and this is slightly against what I wanted to do with this base, but it's going to be a temporary thing for the time being. Because of distance and how much power lines we're going to need, we're going to still use immersive engineering stuff. I should have grabbed that while I was over there. We'll go grab that in a minute. We're still going to run wires around the base as needed. So let's go ahead and make that and that. Perfect. So we'll just throw these guys in here. And now we need to make the squeezer. So the squeezer requires a bunch of stuff. Steel scaffolding, so we need more of that. So we're going to need 3 more of the you shift click to take it off, by the way. Whoops, there we go. So we're going to need 3 more of these guys, the rods. And I think we're going to need even more than that, so we'll get 1 set, and that'll be fine. So steel scaffolding, we are going to need, let's see, what else? I have it all listed down, so I'm just going to look at my little list that I came up with. So the squeezer is what we're doing, correct? Yes. We need fluid pipes times 2. So we can get rid of the press. So fluid pipes are just iron plates. Easy enough, so we have 3. We need 3 more plates. We'll get that started. So this is an easy enough thing. We'll get that going, and yeah, as you can see, it will be better later to have more of these machines, but for now it's fine. And there we go. This should give us our fluid pipes, and we'll have extra of those. And then what is the next thing we need? We are going to need redstone engineering block, which we already have. We're going to need a light engineering block, which requires is it 2 of those? 1, 2. and then like so. And then what else are we going to need? Wooden barrels, which is something I don't know how to make. I do not know how to make, let's see, barrel. Wooden barrel from Immersive Engineering. That is treated wood. So treated wood comes from wood planks. So let's just get a bunch of these. And let's see, we can put this stuff away for right now. We're going to need buckets of creosote, which I actually have over here in this chest. And that will work just fine. So there's that. And we need a total of 4 of these. So let's just turn all of this into treated wood. And I think we're going to need 2 sets of these. 1, 2. And I need just a little bit more treated wood. So literally just 1 more plank, or 1 more log will do. Perfect. So with that taken care of, that should make the last 2 of these guys, and we'll have some treated wood remaining. So there's that. We're going to need a piston and some steel fences. Steel fences are going to require more steel rods. Let's look that up. Fence. Let's see. Iron fence. Steel fence. So 2 steel rods, which we already have. Perfect. So I don't even need to worry about that. And I think that is pretty much it. So redstone and piston, and then steel fences, and we need exactly 3, so it's perfect. So if we look at the book, it should say, hey, you're doing good on everything. Perfect. Now we just need to make it. And once again, we're gonna put it over here. What does it? We need conductive iron. Do I have any conductive iron lying around? Doesn't look like it. I have more iron just in case. I have a little bit, not much. Alright, so what we're gonna do is 1, 2, 3. We're gonna get just a little bit of conductive iron, and hopefully that doesn't ruin everything for me. We have plenty of iron, it's just we're going to need most of it. And we're going to get some more cables. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and make the squeezer. So tell it to just pause. And first layer is steel scaffolding with a light engineering block. Yes. This one doesn't have any heavy engineering blocks. Does it actually take 2? I swore it only took 1. Oh no, it is 2. Oh well. So something like this. We're gonna need steel scaffolding around like so, with fluid pipes. And then the next layer, redstone here. And the barrels all over here. And then the next layer we have piston facing down right here. And the fences back here. And then where do we hit it? It says on the central wooden barrel, on the side that has, so right here. And there we go. There is the industrial squeezer. Now, Let's see, that looks like output for liquids, that looks like input, and that's a redstone signal, and I believe this is probably, let's see, where is the power line? Is it here? No. It's probably right here. No. Right here? Right there. So once we have more power lines, we can go ahead with this. So let's go ahead and make that. And now the squeezer uses, what does the squeezer use? It uses, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I believe the squeezer is the seeds, so it'd be the hemp that we'd want to throw in this guy to produce the seed oil. So let's drop that down. That is so messy, but who cares? It has power. So let's look here. Yes, industrial hemp seeds is the best. So let's grab the rest of those that I had, which I threw back in here. And we're going to start making industrial hemp, or rather the seed oil. So we just throw those in there, and it squeezes it. And it does, I think, up to 6 at a time, and makes plant oil. That's what it's called. So there is that one, and then we need the fermenter. That is next, and we're going to build it just right here. I don't even care that it's messy looking. The fermenter requires a little bit more stuff. Is it 2 light engineering blocks as well? Yes, it is. Okay, so I might have miscounted a little bit, but we should be fine. Probably the hardest part is we're going to need cauldrons. So we need steel scaffolding again. So steel pipes. Metal press for this. Luckily we just need 1. And then we're going to need fluid pipes, which we already have. And a bunch of other stuff. So let's just get into this. And we're probably just going to be making 2 of these machines today. We might make the refinery. We'll see how much time we got. We're going to need the redstone engineering block, which is easy enough. That is probably one of the easiest things, but it allows you to turn the machines on and off. The light engineering blocks are luckily just iron. They're easy enough. Iron and copper are plentiful in the world. We're going to need cauldrons times 4. This is where it gets kind of expensive iron-wise. And then we need iron sheet metal, which is iron plates. And I believe we need 4 of those, so we just need 4 plates, which is not too bad. So you can switch them like so. It's kind of nice, actually. And we just throw those in there. They'll get plated, and we'll be good. Now the refinery is going to require a lot more stuff, but really nothing major other than 16 iron sheet metal. So we're going to go ahead and start making that. It's also going to need more steel scaffolding, which we're going to need more of, but that's fine. We'll get there. So with that taken care of, there's the iron sheet metal, and we should have everything in our inventory. Perfect. Alright, so since this looks pretty much the same, we're going to build it right here. And it's the light engineering blocks in the corners with the steel scaffolding like so. And it is basically the same, just slightly different. Let's see. Stop. Next is 4 cauldrons over here with the redstone engineering block here, and then the sheet metal on top of the cauldrons. And I bet we're gonna hit the middle cauldron on the engineering side. Yep. It's exactly where it's the same thing. They're very similar machines. And there we go. There is the fermenter. Now we'll just set this up to power. Let's see if we can't make this a little bit better. So we'll just bring this here. Here. And I don't want it like that. I want it on the top side. There we go. So this guy is powered. And to give him what he wants to make what we need, we feed him potatoes. Is one of the best things that I found to give him. So what was it that we needed from the overworld? Why am I blanking on what we wanted from over there? Oh yeah, the power lines. So I might set up something between episodes. By the way, we can make this awesome thing called a pole. Or I guess it would be called a post. These guys, these wooden posts, are treated wood fences, which not too bad to do, and just a stone brick. You can make it out of steel and aluminum as well. I don't know what the difference is other than kind of the style, but you can use those to transport power lines, and it makes them look nice. So I might do a little bit of work with that. It's just going to be some more treated wood, which honestly I plan on making as much creosote, as much coal coke as I can. So creosote oil is not going to be hard to come by. But we're going to want these guys, all that we have basically, and just to get more power, distributing around and all that kind of fun stuff. So I also want to get all the potatoes we have, and I mean all of them. I don't know how many. I think we took all the ones in here. So I should have some potatoes still growing over here. And yeah, so we'll grab some potatoes just to get a little bit of what they make, which I also don't remember. And I'll take some time to grow more potatoes between episodes. But for now, the main thing is going to be just getting all of these machines set up. That's the important thing. Once the machines are set up, we can worry about making things look nice later. Which I do plan on making things look nice. I kind of anticipate this being a decently long series. So building and all that kind of fun stuff, especially while other things are happening off camera, is definitely going to be something I want to do. Whether or not I bring you guys in for some of the building or not, I haven't decided yet, to be honest. Maybe a little bit of it, but for the most part, no. Also, the nice thing about this the industrial hemp is this is a great way to get string. Because industrial hemp makes string. So yeah, 3 makes string. It's a 3-to-1, so it's not the best, but we need the seeds more than anything else, so might as well. We'll throw, not the solarium, we'll throw that in there, and we'll throw these guys in there, and we make, what is it? Ethanol, that's what it is. So what do you do with these? Well, you take the ethanol and you take the plant oil and you refine them together. This is a really big, complex machine. And we have the redstone. We need more fluid pipes. And we're going to need a bunch of sheet metal. It's 16 iron sheet metal, so we'll go ahead and get that. And let's go ahead and build this guy. And then next time, we will finish up all of this and build the refinery. I'm going to kind of organize things a little bit better. So we need 8 steel scaffolding. So for that, I believe that's 2 recipes worth. Yes. So we're gonna need 3 steel, something like that, and then we're also going to need fluid pipes, which was iron plates times 6. So we'll get that going. And we'll come back to that in a moment. This guy is doing fine on power, which is nice. We're going to be hurting for power just a little bit until we get everything generating. I guess we only need one of those. That's fine. we should be fine on all of our supplies. So just throw the steel pipes back in. Steel rods, whatever. Same difference. And there's the fluid pipes. Alright, we have the redstone engineering block. We need 2 light engineering blocks. So 2 of these guys. Make that. And then we need heavy engineering blocks. So we need 2 more pistons. And more steel. Let's just take the rest of the steel that I have. And it's a lot. The diesel generator requires so much steel because it requires, what was it that was so bad? This wasn't bad. That's going to be annoying to craft, but it's not a bad recipe. The generator blocks require a good bit of steel, and we need 4 of those, but it requires 13 heavy engineering blocks. So that is kind of the issue. So we need 2 of these. And then there's that. So we can throw that in there. And I think that's it. Cool. So we can go ahead and make the refinery, and we're going to put it right... how big is it? Let's see, it's a 5x3. So let's put it right here. And what is it? So first is what is that thing in the back? That's the heavy engineering block on the back. And then the light in the front. Fluid pipes down the center. With scaffolding on both sides. Alright, so with that, and then the same thing, it's backwards. It doesn't matter too much to me. But you put the same ones with the same ones. And with the light engineering, so one side with the light, it looks like it's to the right here, and then all the sheet metal goes back here, and then up again. So not too bad of a machine. And then what do we hit? Right click the, okay. This guy right here. So there we go. Now is there power in the back? Yes, the power is in the back, and it's right here. But unfortunately I don't have enough stuff to do anything about it, but there's the refinery. So this makes biodiesel. And do we have a bucket? We do. Let's get a bucket of plant oil. We throw a bucket of plant oil in there. And I swear I just heard an Enderman. I might have. I don't know. There are still mobs in this dimension. They're just, since it's eternal daytime, they're a little bit more uncommon. So let's see. We have more power lines we can make. And like I said, I will kind of clean things up and make them transfer more to... I'll use more of the immersive engineering stuff until we can get more power lines in general. So that is powered up. And we just need a bucket of ethanol. So let's go grab some potatoes. And I want to make our first little bucket of biodiesel this episode before we end things off. So... that should be enough potatoes. And pretty much as soon as we are ready, I will hook this up. We'll do this all over there. What I'll do is I'll run some power poles over there and just have... I might move power generation back over there and move pretty much all of this stuff and kind of organize it a little bit better than I have. And then that will be how we kind of work on our base. So, oh, really? We need just a little bit more potato. So, you know what? Let's just grab a potato. I think it's only going to be one more that we need. And we throw that in there. We will get the bucket of ethanol, which grab like that. And then in this machine, and then it produces biodiesel. And we'll get 2 buckets of biodiesel for every 1 bucket of each of the others. It is a 1-to-1, but it's a 1-to-1 equals 2 instead of 1-to-1 equal 1. So that's really nice. And then once we have the biodiesel generator, which we'll make next episode, we'll be pretty much set on power for a good while. And what we'll do is we'll have a fluid conduit line that will transfer fluids to here. So I will need to kind of plan out my roads a little bit better. But I think for now, moving this stuff over here and getting power lines and just start moving power all in here will be good. So that's kind of what I'm going to do off camera. And next episode, we are going to make the biodiesel generator, the diesel generator as it's called, and go from there. So once we have power, we can start making more everything, basically. Power means we can use the Empower more often and not really have to worry about much. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!